Hello and welcome to highlights of the 1990 Italian Grand Prix, brought to you by Microprose and GP2Joey. We've reached the 13th round of the season, and as ever in Formula 1, September means Monza, the fastest circuit on the calendar, and it's the home of Italy's pride and joy, Ferrari, and their army of supporters, the adoring tifosi. For their leading driver, the mercurial Ayrton Senna, the last four races have seemingly surrendered themselves to the Brazilian, who is fast gaining popularity in Italy, second only to the Pope as he enjoys a comfortable 33-point lead in the driver's standings, and the prancing horse of Ferrari is starting to gallop off into the distance from the other teams in the Constructors' Championship. As ever, the driver market kicked into gear this week as rumours grew Nelson Piquet was leaving McLaren at the end of the year, with former champ Keke Rosberg a possible replacement, whilst Joey Davis warned the Williams team he would walk if a fair deal was not offered to him, with Arrows a likely destination for the Brit. Benetton soon confirmed their interest in signing Davis, who were then joined by McLaren boss Ron Dennis, whilst Ken Tyrrell warned the youngster John Alesi about the lure of joining Ferrari. But Frank Williams was quick to remind everyone he had first call on him, and American star Michael Andretti gave his assurance of full commitment to Ferrari were they to sign him instead. News then broke Piquet had signed a shock deal with Benetton, whilst the Williams-Davis saga continued at a pace. Friday morning's pre-qualifying session almost witnessed a colossal accident early on when Paolo Murillo's Minardi almost smashed into one of the Osella cars exiting the pits, whilst one of the favourites, Eurobrunt, had a disastrous session as JJ Leto, who was on his fastest lap and looking good to be quickest overall, was massively blocked by the slowing live car of Gary Brabham heading back to the pits. As seems customary this year, Mark Blundell ultimately ended a 30-minute session on top as Ligier, BMS Dallara and the surprise of the morning Coloni were the only three teams through to race qualifying, as the others all packed up early and went home. Playing to a packed house of over 160,000 fans all screaming his name, Senna was the star of Friday's qualifying session, with the 1988 champ and this year's runaway leader going faster every time he appeared on the track in the glorious Ferrari 641. It was a sublime performance from the Brazilian, who later appeared to be the roadblock to Alesi's possible move to the team, as Nigel Mansell took a fresh swipe at Williams teammate Davis, whilst McLaren boss Ron Dennis confirmed he was only looking for the best driver available to him, before Davis made his surprise announcement that he'd pulled out of talks with Williams and would be leaving the team at the end of the year. Saturday was hot, and so was Brundle's pace in the Arrows, with the Englishman going fastest early, whilst Davis once again struggled with the handling of his car in low fuel setup, as he spun on the exit of the first Lesmo and slightly damaged his car against the Armco barriers on his way to eventually finishing 7th. As expected, it was Senna who once again lit up the timing screens, and although unable to better his time from Friday, it was good enough to ensure Ferrari took a 1-2 with Gerhard Berger in second, his highest starting position of the year, ahead of Prost, Mansell, Herbert and Brundle, whilst the Colonis of Bertrand Gachot and Philippe Alliot both failed to qualify. Rumours then flew Mansell was trying to block Alesi coming to Williams in the event he wasn't signed by Ferrari, which was soon confirmed as team boss Cesare Fiorio posed with Andretti, who made a secret overnight trip to Monza for the announcement confirming he'd signed a 2-year deal with the team, whilst Alesi declared he was heartbroken not to have been signed, before Senna welcomed his new teammate, no doubt pleased his political moves to block the Alesi threat had worked, and race day morning saw Williams officially confirm Alesi had finally signed a 2-year deal with them to partner Mansell for 1991. So it's the two Ferraris on the front row, with Prost and Mansell on row 2. Row 3 is Herbert and Brundle. Row 4 is Davis and Piquet. Row 5 is the two Benettons of Patrese and Nannini. Row 6 is Donnelly and Aguri Suzuki. Row 7 is Warwick and Roberto Moreno. Row 8 is Jean Alesi and Eric Bernard. Row 9 is Thierry Boutsen and Mark Blundell. Row 10 is Nicola Larini and Gabriele Tarquini. Row 11 is Satoru Nakajima and Ivan Capelli. Row 12 is Andrea De Cesaris and Maurizio Gugelmin. And at the back it's Emanuele Pirro and Yannick Dalmas in 26th. The sun is shining and the chants of Senna are ringing out across Monza as the red lights come on and the Italian Grand Prix is go! Senna makes a poor start. He bogs down from pole position. Gerhard Berger makes a good start in the other Ferrari. And as the two of them lead away from the line, it's Alain Prost in third with Mansell in fourth. Herbert's fifth. Brundle is sixth and Davis is in seventh as they head down towards the Curva Grande for the first time. Remember, this is a chicaneless version of Monza we're running yet again for the second year. And as they thunder into the Curva Grande, it's the two Williamses are side by side with Martin Brundle. Look at this, as the top three are battling out at the Curva Grande. It's Berger ahead of Senna with Prost in third. Prost looks like he's going to try and make a move on Senna. And Brundle has got Davis in close company now as Davis and Brundle looking broad. And Prost is going to try and go for the inside on Senna, but he can't make it through. He's run wide, and that's a Williams just slipped through onto the inside. That's Joey Davis. Davis is up to third place from seventh on the grid, and already is attacking Ayrton Senna. Fantastic start from the Englishman. Gerhard Berger's got a half a second gap now, and he's got the Williams all over the back of him, but I'm sure that Davis isn't going to be able to do anything as they thunder under the bridge and head down towards Ascari for the first time. And Mansell looks like he's going to try and make a move on Martin Brundle into Ascari. They're through, but Davis, he's got to go on the outside as Senna takes the defensive line, but I think that Senna's going to be able to get ahead of him because he's got a lot more horses in that Ferrari engine than Davis has got in his Renault. And into the Parabolica for the first time. Berger's through, he's 0.8 of a second ahead as Mansell comes under attack from Nelson Piquet's McLaren. And Herbert, he's dropped back to 8th place with Patrese in 9th and Nannini in 10th. And Davis, he's right in the slipstream of Senna's Ferrari and Prost is 4th as they go over the line. And let's have a look at the replay from inside Davis's Williams. Let's see how he got off to that mesmeric start from 7th on the grid and up to 3rd. Look at the wheel spin the two arrows have got. Davis has got very good traction. He's going to try and get in the slipstream of Mansell, but Brundle's just whizzed ahead of him. And Davis has got to have a look now on the outside as we saw him attack. Look at this. 3 of them around the outside of the Curva Grande. Fantastic stuff as Brundle just has to get out of the power to avoid running into the Williams. And Davis is already ahead of his teammate. And he's already trying to get ahead of Martin Brundle, who covers the outside line. And Davis just slips through. He sees the opportunity. Prost has run wide, and he's absolutely flat chat through the Lesmos, which is where, of course, he spun yesterday afternoon in qualifying. And he really gained time on Senna, but he had to back out of it there with Senna going defensive on the inside, forcing Davis to take a wider line. And Davis just has to get out of the gas again as they head down into Ascari. What a phenomenal start that was.
Fantastic start, and is this Joey Davis? He's trying to go for the lead on the inside of Gerhard Berger. Oh, fantastic start. Joey Davis is leading the race. We've missed how he's managed to gain time out of Ascari, but what a start from him. That is sensational.
Amazing start from Joey Davis with Gerhard Berger in second. It's Senna in third. Brundle's pulling out from behind Mansell. From behind Prost, Mansell's in sixth with Herbert seventh. Piquet's in 8th place. And look at this, Gerhard Berger's already attacking the Williams, and he's just slipstreams past him. Mansell's having a look at Prost, but Davis, he's not giving up. He's going for the inside again on Gerhard Berger, and he's through into Curva Grande at 195 miles an hour. Fantastic racing. Look at this. Their top 6 are separated by less than a second. They're heading towards the Lesmos, and the two Ferraris are now looking to have another go. Davis takes the inside line. He just sweeps back across onto the racing line to defend it. Fantastic bit of driving. Senna defends again from Alain Prost. He's looking very keen to try and get ahead of that Brazilian. And I think that everybody knows they've got to try and race the Ferraris as much as they can this early in the race, because if they get the chance to get a lead, they're going to disappear into the distance.
It's going to be interesting to see the two arrows after last week's 2 weeks ago's battle at Belgium, where Herbert managed to sneak ahead of Martin Brundle at on the last lap. See if they can continue their battle. But Senna, he's still defending from Alain Prost. Look at this. This is so fantastic. All 6 of them absolutely neck and neck as Gerhard Berger takes the lead again. We're riding on board with Ayrton Senna. Let's see if he can close the gap up to Joey Davis in second.
And Davis is going for the lead. He just slingshots underneath Gerhard Berger. Fantastic pass. Look at that. He just stuck it under the inside, under braking for the Parabolica. And I don't think that Gerhard Berger expected Davis to do that. Not at 200 miles an hour. But look at this. Davis is going to block. Is he going to block Gerhard Berger? He does. He just narrows the gap. That gives Ayrton Senna the opportunity to pass his Austrian teammate. And he's through. And is Senna going to even need any slipstream from the Williams? I don't think he is. Look at that. Senna's just staying to the inside, and he just sweeps back across in front of Davis. And Davis tries again, but he can't do it. Senna just says, Absolutely not. You're not coming through. We're on board with Joey Davis once again now. He's trying to swerve about all over the back of the Ferrari. And I think that his Senna's going to block him. Davis moves to the inside. Is he going to snake it? He's done it. He's going to go under the brakes and Senna's run wide. Was he pushed off by Davis? He manages to collect it back up and Prost manages to get out of the gas. But Joey Davis, I think he shoved Senna wide there. That could be a race investigation. And that's allowed Martin Brundle up into second place. Fantastic start. And the two McLarens, they're now neck and neck. They're racing alongside Gerhard Berger with PK in sixth. PK's back up into fifth place. Mansell pulls out. But look at this. The Ferraris and the McLarens, and they touch. PK's hit Berger. And Mansell goes through. And Berger's spinning. PK's got some damage. And he's going to drop back. And Gerhard Berger's massively had to get out of the gas as the two Benettons come screaming past the stricken McLaren, who's heading back to the pits with Gerhard Berger. He's now dropped down to 8th place. And meantime, up front, Senna's looking to get past Martin Brundle. And Brundle's run wide. I think he just overstepped it. I don't think Joey Davis tried to push him off because he wasn't alongside him. But Brundle, he's lost out and he's dropping down the order. And the Englishman's Championship Challenge, which started so well, he won in Monaco, but ever since it's just gone slowly downhill. And he's now massively behind Senna in the driver's standings. And Senna, he's going for the lead again on Joey Davis. As we ride on board with the Williams Renault, heading down towards the Parabolica. Senna goes for the inside, and I think Senna's got the lead. He does. Prost is going to try and make the move. But Davis, he's late on the brakes, and again, he's outbraked Senna. He's outbraked Alain Prost. And as they come flying out of the Parabolica, it's Joey Davis still in the lead now, heading over the line at the end of the 9th lap. This is some race. What a fantastic start from him. He started 7th on the grid, and Senna's 1/10 behind. And Davis has got a right rear loose wheel. His wheel's shaking violently. He's going to have to slow down if he wants to try and make it back to the pits. What a travesty for the Englishman. He's going to be dropping back down the grid.
This is such a shame for Joey. He's made a great start today. Really combative, battling Senna, battling Berger and Prost with PK and Mansell. And now he's just going to have to cascade down the order as Johnny Herbert looks to make a move. Is he going to be able to get past him? And is Davis going to pull out of the way of Nigel Mansell? I don't think he's going to. No, he doesn't. There's no love lost between those two. Davis is not going to give Nigel Mansell an easy ride to get past him. And look at how he's struggling to get that car around the second Lesmo. Mansell pulls out, and I think that's going to be it for Mansell. He's going to be ahead, and Davis is going to be heading to the pits.
Johnny Herbert looks like he's going to try and make a move on Alain Prost into the Ascari. I don't think the TV directors are going to pick it up. Let's see what happens. Mansell comes through, but Herbert, he has to get out of it. And that's given Alain Prost a bit of breathing room to try and catch up to Ayrton Senna as Mansell. He's still got Joey Davis right in his slipstream. Davis is being very clever here as Capelli's out of the race. He's trying to stay right with Mansell to keep up. But he's running a dangerous game there as Senna comes out of the Parabolica. Listen to the crowd cheer as Senna. He's in the lead by over a second ahead of Prost with Herbert in third. Mansell's fourth. Davis is going to be heading into the pits. You can see his Williams in the background heading towards the pits. And Gerhard Berger's already up to 6th place. He's got ahead of Riccardo Patrese and Alessandro Nannini with Martin Donnelly in 9th. And Davis is into the pits. He's onto the marks. The car's up on the jacks and a little wipe of the visor from the chief mechanic. He's dropping down the order. Let's see how long this stop's going to be as they have to replace that loose rear wheel on the right. It's 10.6 seconds. It's quite a good stop. A little bit of wheel spin as he pulls away from the box. But where's he going to come out? I think he's going to be roughly about 20th, 21st place. But let's have a wait and see as Senna extends his lead over Prost now to 9/10 of a second. Herbert's in third. That's one of the BMS Stellaris, and Davis is 21st. He's got an afternoon ahead of him now. On lap 11, Joey Davis in 21st place, and let's see where the Brit is going to end up at the end of the race. Fantastic. Let's see how fast he can get up there. And look at that, that's one of the Leighton houses. I think that's Gugelmin. Gugelmin's pulled over, his smoke billowing out of the back of his car. And there's Joey Davis. He's already attacking Nelson Piquet. He's up to 18th already. And that's Alice ahead. I think that's Nicola Larini. And look at this, Davis. He's got a much better traction than Piquet. And he's pinning Piquet in behind the Ligier. And Davis is going to go for the inside. And he's on the rough stop alongside the pit wall. He's going to spin the car. He's spun. Davis is spinning the car at over 195 miles an hour. Fantastic bit of skill. He manages to keep the car going. But there's Martin Brundle, who dropped it back earlier. And Brundle just comes screaming past the Williams. And he too is now ahead. And Davis is all that time he's made up. He's now lost out as Piquet heads into the Curva Grande. And look at this. This is Prost. He's 3/10. He's closed the gap on Senna. Prost is going to try and take the lead now. See if he can get ahead of Senna. But Senna just blocks him. He says, absolutely not, you're not coming through again. And Senna into the Ascari now. And Johnny Herbert's closing the door. He's closing the gap. And Mansell's 2.7 seconds behind. With Gerhard Berger, 7.5. But Prost is trying to go on the outside. And Senna has to give way. Is Prost going to be able to take the lead into Parabolica under braking? I don't think he will. He tries, but he can't. Senna just covers the inside line. And that's going to give Herbert the opportunity to try and close the gap on Alain Prost.
Johnny Herbert's having a fantastic second half of the season in this Arrows. Look at this Johnny Herbert on the outside of Alain Prost now. Is Johnny Herbert going to be able to get past? It's going to be a long drag race down. He can't. He hasn't quite got the horsepower that Honda is in the McLaren. And Senna's still got a fantastic lead. Well, the three of them now, they're neck and neck. Senna's ahead of Prost, with Herbert trying to get through on the inside. Prost had a look at Senna, but again, he's had to get out of the gas. Senna closed the door, well, more or less slammed the door, and Prost is trying to do the same with Johnny Herbert, who thinks twice, and he pulls back into line. So it's Senna ahead of Prost, with Herbert in third, Mansell fourth, Berger fifth, Patrese sixth, and Roberto Moreno in 12th place. He's having a fantastic race. He's had a good weekend in the Joas Porsche. This likeable little Brazilian. Let's wait and see if he manages to retain his seat as his teammate Thierry Boutsen is out of the race. And that's Alain Prost. Prost has pulled out on the run down to Ascari, we believe. He's got smoke billowing out of the back again. And yet another retirement for the defending world champion. Oh, his season is an absolute nightmare. And look at this. That's Mansell. That's Nigel Mansell with Martin Brundle. They're embroiled in a battle. It's Martin Brundle, sorry. Martin Brundle's a lap down. And Mansell's just trying to get ahead of him. And he's trying to keep pace with Herbert and Senna up front. And they almost touch at the back. And there's Jean Alesi in 14th. He's spun. After being confirmed this morning that he'd signed a 2-year deal with Williams after being bundled out of the way by Michael Andretti at Ferrari. Jean Alesi's having an appalling race. And look at this, that's the Benetton. Is that Nannini? Nannini's under attack from Piquet. And Piquet's up into 4th place. He's having a fantastic afternoon. And that's one of the arrows right behind him. I still think that that's Martin Brundle. He's way back. But look at Nelson Piquet up into 4th place with Senna into the pits. The race leader's into the pits. Here he comes. He's onto the marks very well. Wipe of the visor from the chief mechanics at Ferrari. As Nigel Mansell comes past. Let's see how long the stop's going to be. It's going to be about 9.4 seconds. That's a clean stop from Ferrari. Mansell, he's going to be heading into his pit box, and that's going to give Johnny Herbert the chance to try and really close the gap up on Senna. But I'm pretty sure that by the time the Brazilian exits the pits and Herbert's made his one stop also, Senna's going to be way out in front, and he's going to be enjoying a healthy lead now, which he's hopefully, in the eyes of the tifosi, going to keep to the end of the race. But we're not at the end of the race yet. It's lap 34 and Senna almost collects one of the LaRousses. That was quite extraordinary. How on earth he didn't hit, I think that was Bernard in the LaRousse. How he didn't hit him, I don't know. Nigel Mansell's out of the pit lane. He's in 3rd place with Moreno right behind him as Nelson Piquet comes into the pits with Nannini in also from 5th place. Berger's going to be up to 4th as Mansell rounds. He stays ahead of the Joas Porsche of Moreno. And that's Mark Blundell slowing. He's got a problem. I think he's got a suspension failure on the Ligier. He's got a right rear suspension failure. And look at this, Joey Davis and Nelson Piquet. They're neck and neck into Parabolica. Davis, he's got much better traction than the Brazilian. Is he going to be able to pass him? Fantastic battle going on between these two, Joey Davis and Nelson Piquet. Obviously now it looks as though Davis, is he going to try and do something here? He's going to try and block Piquet, but he's not going to be able to do anything about it. And Piquet just slingshots ahead. Piquet with a new Benetton contract in his pocket, which was announced yesterday. Joey Davis, his future still undecided. Apparently he could well be going to McLaren, or he could be going to Benetton or Arrows, with an announcement expected later today after the race is finished. And Nigel Mansell, he's having a great race. And look at this, that's Alesi getting passed by Ayrton Senna. Well, Jean Alesi's getting lapped again. You can still hear the crowd absolutely cheering Senna's name, and with Jean Alesi very much looking forward to getting out of that Tyrrell and into Joey Davis's seat at the Williams team for next year. Joey Davis is into 6th place. He's having a good race today, a good recovery drive. Remember, he dropped right the way down to 21st place. And there's Riccardo Patrese. He also is going to get lapped by Ayrton Senna, with Johnny Herbert in 2nd and Mansell in 3rd. Senna's going to try and go on the inside. He's through. He's past Riccardo Patrese. Senna's heading now comfortably towards the checkered flag. But obviously we're on the penultimate lap now. But let's see, it's Patrese in 7th. Is Brundle going to be able to do anything? He's in 8th place. I don't think that Martin Brundle's going to be able to get into the points. And this means that Ayrton Senna's lead in the driver's standings is going to be quite colossal now, as he's heading down towards the Ascari for the final time. Senna, you can still hear the crowd, even though we're on board. The crowd are going absolutely wild. Ayrton Senna, he's going to be online to take his 5th win in a row and his 7th win for the year. It's a fantastic second half of the season for the Brazilian. Ever since Silverstone, he's been untouchable. He exits the Parabolica, and Ayrton Senna, he's coming over towards the line, and Ayrton Senna is going to take his 7th win for Ferrari. Listen to the crowd are cheering. Ayrton Senna, he's got both arms out of the wheel, out of the cockpit, and Senna wins the Italian Grand Prix for Ferrari. Fantastic racing. What a drive from the Brazilian. And Johnny Herbert's across the line in 2nd place for Arrows. Another podium finish for the young Brit. What a phenomenal season he's having, with Nigel Mansell no doubt relieved to be finishing in 3rd place for Williams. He's had a traumatic season as well as Nigel Mansell, with plenty of reliability issues. But finally, he's had it, and he's across the line in 3rd place. What a drive from him. But it's this man, Ayrton Senna, who has won today. The crowd's going absolutely wild. They're breaking ranks across onto the start-finish line to see what happens on the podium. This was simply an historic day for Ferrari fans the world over, as Senna's emphatic win was unquestionably his most dominant of the year so far, with Herbert a fine 2nd and Mansell an impressive 3rd, ahead of Berger, with strong recovery drives from Piquet and Davis in 5th and 6th respectively. On the podium, Senna dedicated his win to the crowd of 200,000, as Herbert hoped his drive would be enough for him to retain his seat at Arrows, and for Mansell, he was just relieved to have finally had reliability from his Williams Renault for once. Senna now has a 40-point lead over his rivals, and it's surely only a matter of when the Brazilian will claim a 2nd world title, whilst Ferrari are now comfortably leading the Constructors' Championship ahead of Arrows and McLaren, who later confirmed they had swooped in and signed Joey Davis to partner Prost from under the noses of Arrows and Benetton, much to the delight of McLaren team boss Ron Dennis. Senna has now won 5 on the bounce and 7 in total for the year, and will be looking to claim the title at the next race. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for round 13 of the 1990 Formula 1 World Championship at Jerez.